Hey everyone, we are doing a weird in-between video at the moment. The idea is there's a lot of work to be done, and I kind of need to create some sort of content in order to keep you interested. We need to make a lot of the visuals, the renders for the different rooms, and the animatronics to get to the next video in our series. However, it's a lot of different materials that need to be created, and this project that I've been working with is very old. Therefore, the process of going through these things, altering them, updating them, getting them in Substance, putting them into Maya, and then rendering out our results is very time consuming. For the next video, we're supposed to be working on the pug. Those are the green ones that we see here. Let's highlight the most important rooms, get them up and running, and move on from there. So the stage is our starting point. I'm going to flag this as a necessary one. All right, so we've cut out the center hub and the west door. We just need to get the rest of these locations functioning. I went back through the old videos that I have, and at some point I had created this exterior to the bathroom. We can see that it's a pretty good hallway. We've got these pizza blocks on the sides, which gives us something to actually look at, and we have these recessed door areas so that in the future, if we ever did add something, we have kind of an area for you to view or venture off to, which is going to work perfectly with the supply closet. So here's our supply closet. We're looking at this through a heavily distorted view using the Arnold camera, which supports camera angles greater than 180 degrees. So let's go over to the Arnold viewport here. And here we can see our setup. We've got our nice little closet. We've got our Foxy animatronic off to the side. And the idea is you'd pan left and right on that. Now we need to have two different renderings of this room. Let's go to Arnold and then render. That's going to disable the Arnold renderer over there. And we're going to get our wide camera field of view shot over here. Let's find our reference to our Foxy model. I'm not doing anything crazy with the posing at this point. The scenes aren't really set up for any of that. Let's go to Foxy and Control H to hide Foxy. We're going to come back over to our render. We can see it's already live updated the render with Foxy missing. Let's go ahead and file, save image out. I said I was going to do the pug. The problem is that the pug is nowhere near being completed. Let's actually take a look at where we left off with the pug really fast. So here we've got pug, let's see, the last one we worked with was 9501. Yeah, there's no materials on this thing whatsoever. We can see the various naming conventions. That is a lack of naming conventions over here. Everything. I was working on the teeth last time. Wow, yeah, we've got every single tooth that I was manipulating, way too much. I think I had created a version of this animatronic that was, well, before I started touching it. So let's see if we can find that one really fast. So let's go to... We've got a lot of problems with this animatronic. We've got the pug, and we've got all these sub-objects here. We're going to want to get them all probably in the same thing. Let's grab everyone, throw it under pug, edit, delete all type by history. Did I get the pug somewhat operational? This is the old version of the pug, which, you know what? Maybe we should just go with it. Looks like we did not put materials all over its body. We're going to go under here. We've got a standard surface. We did not name anything because we're dumb. We're going to go to the shader. We're going to do, because eventually we will be using this, we're going to use an AI standard surface. Okay, let's go. I think we had the cyan going up here, and then these other colors are kind of off to the side. So let's just start moving things around. We're going to move this here, move this here. We're going to put the other color down there, primary color, secondary color. We're just going to keep alternating the colors. Okay, and then the belly will be that one. We'll go back to this one. Whoops-a-daisy. Eyes, I kind of want it to be two separate materials. I want pupils. We lack pupils for Foxy, which is really annoying the hell out of me right now. Right-click, assign existing material, pug, pupil. I don't know a fun color. I'm just going to go with yellow for right now and see what happens. Let's go back. Okay, so this is the pupil, and the pupil will be dark. Let's go back over here, right? We can right-click, assign existing material, and we're going to do pug pupil. Now, pug pupil color, we're going to want to be pretty much almost black. That's what we're going to go for. Oh, that's kind of different. Let's see what happens when we go into Arnold. I don't know if I like it. It's a look. It's a look. We're trying to get the video series done. We're not currently trying to release a game, so maybe we're going to go with that. Let's go to rendering editors, hypershade. You got a little bit of metal going on here. That tongue is just weird. And did yellow teeth and a yellow nose to match those yellow eyes. It's terrible. We're going to go with, I think, blue on the shoulder pads, though. Not in love. I'm not in love at all. Maybe we should pause here and marvel at the splendidness of this thing. And it's good enough to go in our system, I think. So now that we've done that, can we go back to our old scene? Create reference, because I don't want to bring all the assets in. If I bring all the assets in, I run the risk of my sloppiness for doing this so fast, causing conflicts, causing breaks. The scaling's all weird. I want to work in references for now to make sure I can add and remove things cleanly from a scene without overriding things. We can see that the scale of the pug is ridiculous. All right, this is our center for our rig, right? And we can move up and down like this part. I'm not sure how I set this thing up. Kind of just like rotate it like he's up against the wall. He's like, what am I doing? I don't want to be here. Huh? We have lights inside the animatronic. We have lights inside the animatronic. But let's see what happens if we bring Foxy back in here. Because Shift H, render. Can the two of these guys play nice? Very different look. Very different look. Actually looks like Foxy should be part of the environment. They are too close to each other. They can be best buds. They're kind of holding hands right now. But I think I'd rather... I wonder if we don't even want to give it legs. Maybe that's it. It's malformed. It was never finished. This would be a great time to take 5 minutes to remember how to use Maya. Yeah, he's got a glowy thing inside. Maybe once we get rid of the glow. I don't like him being right under the light source either. What if we moved him over? Maybe holding the shelf? But yeah, I like the idea that maybe this animatronic's a little busted. It's the teeth. The teeth are, oh, okay. All right. That actually kind of looks fun. I'm going to take a screenshot of this just for reference later on, because it's really actually pretty fun. It actually though has a kind of creepy vibe. Is it that lit just because of its position in the room, or is it because I have chosen colors that are just wrong? Maybe I need to just lower everything down a bit. And let's go to our secondary color and just, yeah, everyone's coming down a little bit. Let's go back to Arnold, just take a quick look. I really need to just stop. It's a little bit darker in the scene. Concept first, perfection later. Let's just do this. So we're going to do render, and we're going to do wide. I don't like the resolution of these. Let's check that out. Window, rendering. It's 16 by 9. So why don't we ramp this up to something that actually makes sense? Whoa, full screen. So in case you're wondering why the full screen happened, it's because all my monitors broke, and I'm currently running with some crappy ones. I don't feel like the surrounding area is glowing as much. We're using this box to do all the lighting right now. Look at that. Look how bright that is. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's overexposed. So now I'm gonna dial this back down a little bit. Ooh. I think that was part of the issue. This is being a little bit of a pain, and I think that has to do with a few other parameters. So we need the Arnold render settings, right? Arnold, and then there is imagers. It's the bloom effect. There's a threshold for bloom. The lower the threshold, oh wow, that's crazy amount. I kind of like that. That feels better. And hide Foxy. An updated scene. And now we want one with Foxy, but no pug. And now we're going to do one without Foxy as well. This will just be the entire room by itself. Okay, great. We've got all of those. Next up is the security room. Okay, so this is much better. Yeah, so you can see I've gotten a lot of the work done, just the doors remain. So I really need another location to make this work. And it's time for us to get started on the least favorite part, which is going into a new scene and trying to get this crap to work. So we have the bathway hall room textured. I really do feel like this is the easiest one to migrate, but I do not have any work done at all to texture this darn thing. In all honesty, I really don't want to texture this entire thing because it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. But we've got one pizza thing, we got one pizza slice, and that gets duplicated multiple times throughout. So all we got to do is get one of these suckers out of here. Next up is going to probably be, I guess we could do the wall placards. Oh, these need to be fixed. They are going to get triangulated horribly. So let's just, rather than letting the algorithm do it for us, let us add our own triangulations. The only other things we have in this room are the floor and the ceiling, right? And we're going to probably do all that later. So let's get these assets out of here. Let's go to Substance, File, New. I really don't know what to do with these. We're just going to mess around. Do a Bake Mesh Maps. We're going to go to ambient occlusion. We're only going to occlude things that have the same name. Yay, and all we have is the AO from the individual pieces, nothing else. So we're probably going to want the UV view when we're doing this. Let's go to layers. I don't know, it's plasticky, right? So we could probably just create a fill layer with and just make our own property for it. There's a material, so we're going to pick something in the reds, something like that. UVs, the concentration of the textures here. All of this crap out here is this junk here. Wow, we got to go back. All right, pizza. Pizza. Wow, why? What? See, look, see this ridge right here? And see this ridge here? And see how much texture space is allocated to that? We need to unfold this. Look at that. Much better. This is why you check your UVs before you do stupid things. Yes, that, and that are all coming for the ride. We're going to do another game exporter. All the settings are set, so we're going to hit yes. We're back. Let's create our fill layers. We're going to go with our pizza slice full. Duplicate that right now. Come here, go to the greens. I'm going to select these guys too. I don't know what that is. Do you see that? What is that? I don't like ignoring things like that. When I ignore stuff like that, it becomes a problem later on. Okay, and we just need something in the background. What is this? Baked lighting material, clay, earthenware. What would that look like? I think we could get away with that if I duplicate it and did one on the outer edge as well. I guess you don't have to do it this way. If I was smarter, I could probably do something based upon the curvature and the angle. I wonder if they have tools like that. It's been a while. I'm not actively doing as much development as I used to do, mainly because my schedule prevents me from doing it. I'm literally spending every day talking to people, managing things, and making stuff happens. And making stuff happen. Making stuff happens. Yes, it's a great thing to say. This is the part that's boring, everyone. So now we got a nice ridge around our pizza. I'm kind of happy with that. This inner part could probably look a little bit more cheesy. So let's go into the yellows a bit. That's gross cheesy. Let's bring it over into the whites a little bit. Something like that. Hit M to see what it looks like. Yeah, you know what? I don't have a problem with this. What I do have a problem with is the normal map going onto these things. Oh, that got rid of it for that too. Okay, good. I don't want the pizza to be crazy detailed. We're gonna go in here in the height range. Let's crank that down a bit. Let's find rust. I always like to just take rust. That's kind of grimy. I kind of like it actually. It's too much, but I'm not in love with this. Let's lighten that up a little bit. What do you say? It's dust. It's dirt. It's not the worst kind of dirt. I kind of wanted it, for some reason, concentrate a little bit more on the bottom, so I'm just going to lightly... I almost want like a big stain smearing this too. We're going to take this layer, duplicate it again. We're going to find ourselves a mask that we like. So I want to take this dirty gradient and pop it right into there. See, now we get this gradient, although it looks like it might be rotated a bit. We're going to take this projection and move it to like right there. And then what we want is... There's a lot of work for not a whole lot to show. Got a hard line there. We're not going to go back and adjust the normals now. All right, let's take all of this crap that we've made, put this into a folder and call this pizza. We could make a smart material out of this. I'm just going to copy this for right now. Throw this under slice. Okay, and now we're going to go through here and fix all this stuff. Check that out. Okay, that's our crust. That's our pizza. I mean, this is a mess of a transition. But if it is a piece of plastic that's on the wall, we don't really need it to be all that natural looking, so we'll just leave it. Now we just need the sign, right? Like maybe a plastic, maybe some braille on it. It's just a composite sign. We can throw that on there. Oh, there's a blurriness factor to that. I didn't know that. Whoa, that's cool. That's not what I want. But that added some pattern to this that I kind of like. Let's go back here. It's a bit much. If we go under the technical parameters and really tone down that height range, you want to stamp. I don't know if Substance has. You want to use AI? Should we use AI to make a stencil? Why not? We'll make that into our stamp. Okay, hit enter. We'll notice there's noise in this. So let's hit Control L for lighting and pop this up, pop this over, and now we should just have a flat white version. Import this file, Alpha, import. There we are. Much better. Okay, there we go. So we've got our restroom stamp. Export textures now. These are our materials that we now need to populate. With these things, we're going to come in here. Let's just do a detailed list instead. Drag and drop is the easiest way to do this. All right, so now we've got pizza slices on the walls. But the problem is we have no hallway, we have no ceiling, and we have no floor. And honestly, that's 90% of this. And it's the part that sucks the most to make because I know how I would do it for real-time rendering, and I hate how I do it for Maya. But we've got a ceiling here. It's composed of repeating sets of UVs. We've kind of got these 3 different sections. So what we've done here is I've sliced them up. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting them up into bins. I'm going to end up doing all the UVs so they fit in the 0 to 1 space. I'm going to bring the whole interior into Substance Painter and bring it all together. I've kind of showed you now the workflow necessary to create these assets and why it's taking me a while. If you did watch this and you happen to be working in a 3D program as well to create your renders, you might have seen a few things that you're like, oh, I could do it that way. More likely you found a lot of ways you're like, wow, George, you did that really wrong. You shouldn't do it that way. If you did notice a lot of mistakes, feel free to post them down below. I'd love to know how you're going through your workflow and how you speed things up. My skills have regressed in the last 4 years. So I will see you next time when I release the next video in the series, which is going to be using all these visual elements to create the animatronic pathing moving through all the different areas. So until then, so long and goodbye.